Welcome back. It is Inbounds at 521. I'm McDonald with the Prophet Mark Moses, our executive producer, and we are going to the Everyday Cafe hotline. Glad to bring in the former head football coach, University of Virginia and Navy Hall of Famer. He is the one, the only George Welsh. Hey, Coach, how are you?
I'm fine. Thank you.
Yeah, great. I know you had a cell phone issue today, so I hope your day's going a little better. Glad that we got you. So you're back in Charlottesville for a while?
Yeah, till next May. I'm fine.
Good. Are you following? Are you watching a lot of football now?
Yes, a lot. Mm-hmm.
What are your impressions? What are your impressions of the game now?
Well, there's a lot more penalties, and it's nobody can stop anybody.
Yeah, defense is. Because there was a period of time where defenses seemed to be ahead of the offenses, and now, the offenses. Is it just because of the athletes, you think, or systems, or what?
Well, I don't think defensively they have caught up to this spread offense.
Yeah, kind of the West Coast and all the pistol stuff. And how much did you tinker through the years with your offense?
I think I'd have to adjust to what's going on today. So
yeah, when you had for example, when you had an athlete like Sean Moore, would you adjust to a great athlete like that or a Herman Moore? I mean, would you do things to capitalize on what Sean could do?
Oh, absolutely. I think the change is I never wanted Sean Moore to be in the shotgun, but I've changed my mind. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And why was that?
Well, I think there's more. I don't know. I think you got to spread out and you got to throw the ball, and you got to have a quarterback. Hopefully, if they're not a great passer, that they can run it.
Right. Yeah, you had a couple of really, really good ones, and
no question. Yeah. That's why we won all those games in the 90s, late 80s and 90s. So.
Yeah. And I was comparing your staff, George, to the staff that Frank Beamer has now, where it stayed so long. Your staff stayed so solid for so long. They built up such great relationships with guys from the state of Virginia, didn't they? The high school coaches.
Yes. I think that hurt Al Groh because I think he lost some of the coaches in Virginia for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah,
but there's definitely a difference.
Yeah,
I think with Michael London, they're going to get it back.
Yeah, I think Mike has got he's got some things on the plate academically and doing a lot of stuff with the school and a lot of PR. He is doing it. George Welsh, our guest, Everyday Cafe Hotline, former coach, Hall of Famer, and. Now, just as I said, watching a lot of football. Now, when you finished and when Old Dominion called you to consult, that had to be an honor, George. You had to love that.
Well, I had a lot of calls then, way back then. But it's I have no idea if I helped Old Dominion or not. But that was a public relations type thing in a lot of ways, and I think that Wilder is Coach Wilder is doing a great job.
Yeah. Have you been down to see him play?
No, I have not.
Yeah, I think Bobby's done a great job. What did you have to attack first? I mean, I can't imagine starting a program from scratch. Where did you begin when they asked you to, you and Dick Sheridan was with you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Where did you start? What was like your first week, first month? I mean, where did you start?
Well, I think you have to stay in the state. If you can't recruit in the state, you get problems. So I think that's what's happened at Virginia the last few years. And that's why I think that things can turn around. Now,
you were there consulting Old Dominion. Had Bobby Wilder been hired yet, or had they not hired a coach yet?
No, I was a consultant before that. Excuse me. And when he got hired, I said, you do not want me anymore. You got a head coach. So, and then I kind of got out of it.
Yeah. Would you have coached had they asked you?
I doubt it. I tried to get into coaching in a couple of years after I retired, and I think the age was a factor. So, but not now. Not the last few years.
Yeah. Do you keep up with many people, for example, and probably not, I know how busy coaches are, and you're traveling a lot. For example, do you still keep up with Paterno? Do you drop him a note every once in a while? Do you guys talk at all?
Not the last couple of years, actually, but I'm following Penn State because I know a lot of those guys on his staff, and I still think they're pretty formidable. But when you're playing a true freshman quarterback, I think you got problems.
Yeah, no doubt. 527, he is George Welsh, Everyday Cafe Hotline, Hall of Famer and former Virginia coach. Hasn't Al Golden done a terrific job at Temple?
Yes, obviously.
Yeah.
But I was always impressed with Al, and I'm sorry I didn't hire him. He was my graduate assistant, whatever year that was, and Tom O'Brien was smart enough to hire him, and I didn't want to hire a graduate assistant at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's a great recruiter, no question.
Yeah,
and obviously he has proven that he is a good football coach.
Yeah, he's done so many good things, and academically, and George Welsh, our guest, Everyday Cafe Hotline. George, when this summer in college athletics, and there was all this talk of expansion and what the Big Ten was doing, and schools moving, and Nebraska moving. You're a coach that's been around and seen everything. What was your take on kind of college athletics and college football, and what was about to happen on the college landscape?
Okay, you want a one-word answer?
I probably know it starts with an M, right?
No, money.
Money, yeah.
Money.
Yeah. Was it getting out of hand in your mind?
Yes. In a lot of ways, I don't like what's happening now, but I don't like it. There's too much of this money involved, and conferences expanding and playoffs. So that's where I am.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you the playoff question too, and I feel about would you have been a guy now, knowing, if you were coaching now, would you be a playoff guy? Would you be voting for a playoff, or do you like the bowl system and the BCS the way it's set up?
No, I would rather have a playoff.
Mm-hmm.
I've said that for a long time. I don't think the BCS, when you exclude TCU and Boise State, that's not good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Oregon jumps Boise State, and Boise State just keeps winning.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. If Alabama or Ohio State or Oregon loses, they're going to be right back in it.
Yeah. Everybody is. There's no doubt. So, George Welsh, our guest, Everyday Cafe Hotline, Hall of Famer. George, I'll just keep you for a couple of more minutes, and I really appreciate you taking some time.
Okay.
Today to be a part of it. Do you miss it? Do you miss storming the sidelines?
Well, I did for 3 or 4 years. I tried to get back in, even as an assistant, but it didn't work out. So I don't miss it anymore.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pressure on those coaches now. There's so much money involved, and if they don't win, goodbye. Yeah. Can you imagine having a contract that's like $2.1 million or $1.75, or can you imagine having a contract like that now? No, I don't think I'd turn it down. But
no,
when I went to Navy, I was making $21,000 at Penn State, and I went to Navy in '73. I don't know what the equivalent is, but I signed a contract for 3 years for $27,000. So
wow.
Well, the '70s were different, though. It's like today. It's not a good time.
Mm-hmm. I got this leads me to believe, you talking about Navy. We had John Feinstein on last week, and he's written another book, a kid's book about the Army-Navy game.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, it's a kid's mystery that he has written. And it says, John writes a lot of really, really good stuff. Can you put into words what the Army-Navy game meant at that time? Your years in the Navy. What was the Army-Navy game like?
Well, I don't know how to describe it, but except when I was an assistant at Navy before I went to Penn State,
mm-hmm.
I went on the field, and there were 100,000 people in Philadelphia in the old, I don't know what the stadium was called then. And I was so excited, and so I had to sit down.
Really?
I thought I was going to fall over.
Really?
I'm serious. I had to sit down so I didn't fall over.
Yeah.
So I never felt that as a player, but when you're a coach, and this was 60 or 61, it was overwhelming.
Yeah, it had to be. One more question, I'll let you go. One more memory. 1984, because I was sharing this memory earlier. 1984, the Peach Bowl with the University of Virginia was their first bowl game ever. The excitement, it was just it was a terrific game, and Jim Everett was the Purdue quarterback, and you end up beating him, and you had a terrific team, and that party afterwards was a party that I'll always remember.
Okay.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that party at the hotel afterwards?
No, I went back to my room and I hid out. But when I went back to the hotel, there were people all around, and I could hardly get through. And they were some of those old time Virginia people were crying.
Yeah, it was quite.
Football's not that important, right?
Well, it was important to them, and and it was I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that party. But boy, what a special team that was. And now Ron Mattis, who was whose picture was documented for a number of years, and now Coach Mattis is back with Mike London. So
I think Mike did a great job. I'm sorry I didn't hire Ron Mattis way back when I had a chance. So
yeah, he's done a great job. Well, hey George, we just want to catch up and say hey and see how you're doing. How's your back? Is it bothering you?
No, I've got other problems. I'm 77 now. So, no, the back is fine. Thank you very much.
Well, good. You're a young 77. You're never going to get old.
I've heard that before.
Well, hey, George, great to catch up, and just wanted to say hi, and I'm glad things are going well, and I hope you enjoy the football season. I hope we catch you at the stadium.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
All right. George Welsh.